Hi, y'all.
Hey.
Hey, how y'all doing? Carlina, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, and I can hear you good. See, that was the thing I was waiting for. Because I'm like, I want to make sure I can hear you. It is, oh, yes, it is 5 o'clock. It is 5 o'clock, and welcome. I'm going to give it a few minutes. Hopefully, there'll be some. I have to, if you guys are looking on YouTube as well, just turn down the volume so it's not echoing in your ear, because it does echo in the ear. This is the live Zooming in Comfort, and today I'm here with some really beautiful people. The most beautiful is the people that I know, at least some of them. And they are, yes, I have a couple of different time zones, at least one, no, two. I have two different time zones here, plus my own. So we're gonna get into that in a moment. I'm hoping that we get a couple of more. I'm just waiting for like one more person, but I'm probably gonna start without them and let it go and see when he pops up.
Can I just disturb you for 1 second?
Sure enough.
Something's going out my phone. It's quickly draining battery. So can I log off and come back in on my computer?
Yeah, do that.
Okay, give me 2 minutes.
All right.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, and another one trying to log in. Who's trying to log in? I don't know what the problem is. People trying to log in and not being able to log in. But either way.
So how long have you been doing this?
Well, I like Zooming in Comfort. I started it in December.
Okay.
And January was such an exciting month. I kept it going. And but then I took a slight pause for like a week, and I decided I would like to do it every other week. Every other week to catch up with y'all and catch up with my friends and catch up with people and catch up with current events and topics that we don't normally get to talk about with other people from other places. And we're all inside. We are all inside. Except for you, Miss Travel Woman. This woman right here, Tina McGee. I have known Tina since we were knee-high to tumbleweeds. Probably as long as I've known you, Noreen. But Tina lived across the street.
Okay. And that's why she looks familiar. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I said. She might look familiar to you.
And now I live in an RV, traveling the U.S.
Wow.
Ciao.
That is cool.
Now I miss my house.
Living in an RV.
It's cool. What?
Yeah, living in an RV. Living in an RV. I am like, gee, wow. Christmas.
And you just roll and park.
Pretty much. We've been staying in one place because of COVID recently, but we're gonna go take a trip in northern Arizona. We went to the Grand Canyon earlier last year, and we've been in Arizona. We've been to Mexico in the RV. Yeah. So, Mexico's beautiful. You park right on the beach, and it's just beautiful.
Why I'm not in that RV too? Wait a minute now. I could throw a suitcase together. Hold on. It won't even be big.
Let's say what I need. What I need to bring.
Just a couple of things. Just a couple of pull-ups. We ready to go.
There you go. I got a couch for you.
Well, I'll bring a blanket. I don't need a lot.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I think he's having a little trouble signing in, but hopefully he'll get in here in a moment or two or three. I'm also trying to see also on the site itself to make sure that it's streaming. It is streaming though, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. I just don't see it on the screen, but that's all right. I know it's up there. It's got to be. Oh, that's why, because I need to play the screen. Durr.
Hey, we are streaming because
you in the. He says, you have been all over. I mean, I remember when y'all got the RV. I know, not when you got it, when you started traveling. And I was like,
Yeah.
where's she going? in an RV? Oh, okay. Okay. I understand.
It's been 6 years since we started traveling. 6 years this month. Yeah.
Wait, all in the RV?
All in the RV. Yeah.
How cool is that? Are you
We rent out
documenting
our
it?
house.
Uh-huh.
Not really. I kind of started a blog at one time and it fell by the wayside. So I just have my own personal journal that I keep stuff in. But I'm not that good about documenting. But yeah, we found a great RVing group that's just, they are wonderful and they have parties and
Nice.
get-togethers. And so we go to random places and just party.
Downtown.
And most of them are working out of their RV too. Most of us are working out of our RV.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
you go, girl. I didn't know it was all. I mean, I knew you was in that RV. And I was like, brave. That's all I got to say. Is she is brave. Because I don't know. Do not know, Dina. Next, I got up here another woman I've known for since we was knee-high to tumbleweeds in church. And I always admired her and her energy and her stamina and her go-get-'em attitude, especially her mama's go-get. Yes, your mama. Because you know your mama was all over the place, Noreen. This is my girl, Noreen.
I was like, who's she talking about?
Y'all seen her before, Zooming in Comfort. She's been here before. This is the girl. She just, got it all going on. You can tell a little bit about yourself just to remind the folks.
So I'm in New York. It is 11:07 here. I'm retired. And I'm also, because we retired doesn't mean we put it all down, right? So I'm in school studying to be a doctor of funeral sciences, and I'm a certified life coach. And I just have a lot of eggs in a lot of baskets because that's what we do.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yes, having fun with this life,
Oh.
And next we have Miss KZ. I put KZ because I was like, all right, I'm just going to put KZ because I already had enough of Noreen. I'm going to leave it KZ. You can introduce it however you want, but I've known KZ. How many years have I known you?
We have known
3, 4?
before my daughter was born, and she's turning 11 in April.
So. Whoa, 11?
Can you imagine? In April. So I think I met you probably almost a year before I got pregnant with her. So it's been about 12 years.
Get out of town.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, man.
When Brenda used to live around the corner from me.
Yeah.
She used to, right around the corner. It's hard to explain, but she used to live around the corner. That's how we met, through Brenda. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That I remember. Get out of town.
Yeah, goes.
Okay. Well.
Now Carlina, you're in Sweden?
I'm in Sweden as well. Yes.
Okay.
That's where Jermaine and I met, in Sweden.
Yeah, we met here in Sweden.
Yeah.
I remember the picture vividly. The first photo I ever had of Carlina, she was eating a cupcake.
This is true because
and loving it.
Cooks like nobody's business. And I can eat like nobody's business, so it was a perfect match. I couldn't believe these women could cook like this, and they were doing it while they were talking and just nonchalant. I mean, I'm not a cook. I was not put on this planet to cook. I realize that. I will clean, but don't make me cook. And whatever I have to cook, I am remarkably stressed. I mean, really stressed. Like, I have everything set up and don't talk to me and close the windows. And these women were doing it and like throwing jokes and twirling their hair, waiting for it to cook. Like, it was just nothing. And I was so amazed. All from scratch. It wasn't from a box.
Mm-hmm.
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 We do not
Is there another
believe
way?
in the
Like,
box.
is there another way? Scratch is the way, man.
Exactly. Yeah, but for me, all I know is box. So I was just like, wait a minute, where's the box? Don't you need to look at the instructions? They're like, box. The flour came out of that bag.
Wow.
Yeah, that was about 12 years ago.
Oh my
Yeah, I don't
gosh.
cook. I married up and got a man who likes to cook, and he keeps me in this RV and he cooks some killer meals, and I'm a happy person.
Wow. You marry whatever you have a shortcoming in, marry that to compensate it.
There you go. There you go.
Well,
You do
somebody
it.
should have reminded me of that, man. I cook every day. But I like it. I don't mind because then I have,
Yeah.
control of what's going on, what I got going on, and stuff like that. So I'm okay with that. But he cooks well, tell him my kitchen is his kitchen. Tell
Tell Bob.
Tell Bob.
He
Yeah, I was gonna
wants
say
to
tell
meet
Robert.
you.
Tell
He
Robert.
wants to meet you. He is
So
dying to meet you. He's telling
just
you,
wants-
whenever you come back to the U.S., we'll drive the RV to where you are.
Well, that's cool. I can dig it. I can dig it. But oh man, because I mean, and you guys have been through the ringer. Just the traveling alone. I don't know. I could not. See, the cooking. I'm all for it. I'll come over your house and cook, Carlene. I don't care. But the traveling in the RV, I admire you. That is something I never thought you would be doing.
I never thought it.
See,
And this man changed my life.
You like it?
I didn't even know people did this, much less African American people did this.
Do you enjoy it though? Is it now your hobby? Do you like it?
I like it. I'm used to it now because we've been doing it so long, but I can't wait. We have like a 5-year plan, 10-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna buy land maybe in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to the day that I can retire and I can have a house again to decorate, because it's just the small quarters. It's just, yeah. And we have 2 dogs that we travel with.
Yeah.
And it's just small, but I like seeing the places all over, and that's fun. And the people I meet.
And people are friendly. Are they welcoming?
Yeah. We get some people that you'll see. So you'll go to some places that the Confederate flag is flying, and you just know, okay, I don't want to talk to you. Mm-hmm. But the RVing group we're with is really open, and they are just good people. So most places we go, we're fine.
Okay, because the rule of thumb is if you see a Confederate flag, you start packing up. If you hear banjos, you run.
That's right.
Really?
That's
right.
That's
No matter
right.
where you are on the planet.
Yeah,
That's
right.
Wow, that sounds really amazing.
I'm sitting here just checking on.
So do you have a route set, or does your next location come based on the groups that you're in relating to the RV?
We just kind of wing it. Usually what we planned on last year was after Mexico. We came back from Mexico in February to Arizona. And then they have these little get-togethers in different parts of the United States. Mm-hmm. And we actually were going to go on a cruise to Alaska with the same RV group. Mm-hmm. We're going to go to Oregon and park our RVs and then go on a cruise to Alaska, and then come back and hang out in Oregon. And then COVID, of course. So everything we planned got canceled. But this year we're planning on, we're going back to Ohio, which is where my husband's from. And then we're going to drive from Route 1, which is Maine, all the way to Key West. Wow. And so we planned, there's all these groups you can go on and figure out what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And you just go and figure, okay, I want to go to this place, and you just drive and go. Mm-hmm. So that's our plan for this year.
During COVID, you're not on house arrest, so you can get up and move.
Yeah,
she's kind of in the house.
Exactly. Yeah.
Moving-
You can take
she's
your house
moving
with
with
you.
the
You can move around.
Yeah.
yeah. It is. That's the nice thing about. And we don't do RV parks. We have a full solar system on top of our roof, so we don't need to plug in.
Right.
We use the sun to power all of, and we have every electronic because I'm a computer nerd. So we have to have everything and have a full screen TV and everything. And all of that is run off of solar. So we don't do RV parks because they're too close together. I like just parking in open land where near a lake or something.
Right.
And it's just beautiful. So that's what we do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I did not realize. I mean, I did realize it could be really fun, but I thought to myself, "Oh man!" But
That's
I mean,
amazing.
I still don't think I'd be able to do it.
Well,
My hat is
look
off
at
to
you
you.
guys. You guys moved to a whole nother country. Okay,
right.
I'm staying within United States. Okay, I go to Mexico, but other than that, you're the real pioneers because you decided, hey, I'm leaving New York and I'm going to Sweden.
It's much more glamorous than it is. No, at least that's not my story.
Were you born in Sweden?
No. I'm from the States. I'm from Massachusetts.
Okay,
what made you go there?
Yeah,
How did it happen?
Yeah, Sweden was not on my radar at all.
Okay.
Okay. No, it wasn't. I had settled into my own, and I had worked many years to get into my own, and I was actually, strange enough, at a point where I was really happy with just me. No man. No, I wasn't. I had never been married. I didn't have any kids. It was just me, and I was thrilled to be with just me because I realized the amount of freedom I had and the flexibility. And in that time, I stumbled into my husband, who was experiencing his own freedom at the same time. So we actually met thinking that, okay, we can hang out, but nothing's going to happen here because I am not looking to share living quarters with anybody. I like my space. And I guess if you're meant to be, or if the universe is pushing you to teach or learn something from someone, you get pushed. Whether you realize it or not, you start to agree to things you never thought you would. If it's if it's your design. So
How
did you get here, Jermaine?
Huh?
How did you get to Sweden?
By plane. I'm just getting ready to introduce Deborah. Oh, there she goes. And she keep popping in and out. Debbie, can you hear us? Deborah. Apparently not. She can't hear us yet. Nope, she popped out again. Okay. I'm gonna wait for her to come back. I got here by plane. No, I came here. It was almost 20 years ago now. My husband's Swedish. He was born here. No, he was born here. He was born in Latvia, and he came here later on. And I met him when I traveled here, and then I went back home and thought about it and said, okay, I'm gonna try it out. And I came here for like I came for like a summer. And it was like one of the best summers. It was hot. And I stayed for like a couple of months. My boss, I remember this vividly because once when I came for the 3 months, my boss was like, okay, so who is this man and why are you going and where were you going? She wanted every bit of information to make sure that I was safe. And she held my job open for 6 months. She said, I'm holding your job just in case. So you're going a little bit too far away from my liking. I was like, okay. But she was real cool. She kept in contact. She emailed. It was like, I'm just making sure we could still communicate. So she would write and she would text and all that other stuff. And then when I went back and I visited, I'd call her and visit her. And ultimately she kept the job open for like a year. She got my job open for a year. She never filled the position for a year. And then she are you sure? I've been here for a while. I think I'm okay. I think so. I'm cool.
Fabulous.
So I bless that woman. I mean, unfortunately she passed away like a few years later. I got to see her beforehand. So I was really happy for that. But she was You
It
know.
was crazy, y'all. Jermaine was at church one minute, and the next time it was, oh, she's in Sweden. I was like,
Where's that in America? Which part?
yeah. I never got the full story for like 10 years. Like, huh? What are you doing? It was crazy.
Where
But
are
she did
you?
it. She did
I
it.
know. I gotta bring in this man right here. Though we are not related, it's all right. It's all right. The first, this is that. The first time I met him, he had his shirt on. I blinked, the shirt was off. After that, every time I saw him, shirt on, 10 seconds, shirt off. Bruh! Okay, now let's preface this by saying it wasn't like he was in front of me getting naked. But he is a musician, he's a rapper, he loves his hard rock, he performs, he does music, and this particular time we were at one of the clubs here, and they called him up on stage to rap and sing, and he was downstairs, he was on the floor with everybody else. He had his cool t-shirt and pants and stuff. He got on stage, he got himself worked up and hot, shirt came off, and that's when it happens. But I love him to death. He is the dude. This is Darryl Thomas right here. Say hi, Darryl. Can we hear you? Can you speak? Can we hear you? No, we cannot hear you. Can you check the audio in the corner of your screen on
Darryl.
it'll probably say over. Okay, unmute
It's just
yourself.
unmuted. There it goes.
Talk. Speak.
Microphone.
There you are. There you are. There you are. There you are.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Right. Good. Yeah, it's crazy because was it at one of your gigs that we met?
No, this was random. We were at Stompin'.
Ah, wow.
In the basement. In the basement.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a transplanted American too here in Sweden. So I'm from Chicago, y'all. So, but I've been here for 20 years now.
Wow.
So as long as I am.
Yeah. It'll be 20 years in a few weeks. So it's crazy. Yeah. I love it here. I ain't thinking about going back home. I'm for real.
But we were, I got to tell you one thing. Over the past 4 years, if something happened in November, we were going to be expats in Mexico. We were seriously like, we're out of here. We're tired.
I feel you, man.
So,
I don't know.
we didn't think about going as far as Sweden, but Mexico, yeah, we were like, okay. So I was like, Jermaine can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I didn't plan on coming here, but once I got here, I'm like, I'm staying. It's wonderful. It really is.
Really?
Yeah, I dig it. And I mean, you're from the East Coast, and I'm from Chicago, so the weather has no problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
this snow is it's like I got on my regular winter coat and some sweatpants. People are like, yo, how you handle this? I'm like, man, I'm from Chicago. This ain't nothing.
Yeah.
So I can handle the snow.
What part of Sweden are you in?
Stockholm.
Oh, you're in Stockholm, okay.
Yeah. I'm done there as well. I'm about maybe 30-minute, no, actually less, probably about a 20-minute bus ride from Jermaine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's cool. We need to link up. You and I, darling. I got some songs for you to sing on. For real. I'm dying to have you.
Put me to work. I thought I was going to get that dinner that was owed to me 20 years ago. Yes. Let me share that story. He's like, girl, man, you got to come over and hang out. We got to hang out. And that's when you had like 2 dogs and a cat.
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
Yeah, and this and that. He goes, and he like just, I think you were going to make like some kind of chicken, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
And he described, I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, we set it up. 20 years later. We run into each other, and then we see each other. Then we don't see each other for months. Then we run into each other again. Then my lady and I went over and started to help her film some of her cooking stuff in the beginning. And then we got a trip to the park again. So, yeah, we definitely need to do that. Matter of fact, the first time we come over, there will be no mics, nothing. And we just hang out and I'll cook that dinner. So it's been cool.
It's
You
good
go,
here.
man.
Yeah, finally. I needed you other sisters here to make me actually stick to my word.
Because I was like, when Darryl said, "Yeah, okay, Darryl, all right, fine," because he better get on here, Darryl.
No, I was coming. Linda as well too. Like Jermaine knows my lady. She was like, "Yo, it's like 20 minutes to 5. You gonna get on it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got it. Oh yeah, it's like 5 minutes to 5, Darryl. You need to check that Zoom link." Okay, I got it, baby. Let me have a glass of wine.
Thank you, Linda.
Yeah, baby. She can't hear you because I got.
Oh, that's okay. She's probably watching. She's watching. She heard it.
Yeah. So yeah, life is good here. It's holding up okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How's your back? Because you've had a lot of little back issues.
Oh man, I feel like a new man. I feel like I'm about 25 years old now. So it's good. I started physical therapy. I hit my first session with the chiropractor yesterday, and she was cracking my shit like a deck of cards. It was amazing. It was amazing. Like the lights got brighter in the room. I was like, "Oh yes, this is beautiful." So
wow.
I spent many years working as a moving dude. Carrying pianos and safes and blah blah blah. And then the last 5 years, I worked with Live Nation. So it's essentially the same thing, carrying pianos, blah blah blah. But it was Axl Rose's piano up on the stage when they were about to perform. So I was still a fleet. I'm sorry, I'm speaking speech. I was still a moving guy, but I was stuck in just carrying crazy stuff, man, and my back couldn't take it anymore. So it was time for me to take a break. But I'm feeling much better, and I think about it probably by March or April, I'll be able to start actually working out again and being truly physical. So it's cool.
Yeah, we hoping something will happen in March or April. But how that leads into this. First of all, like I said, all y'all who are watching and listening, this is Zoom and Comfort. Thanks for popping in and joining us here to meet all these people from 1, 2, 3 different time zones. I enjoy doing this. The fact that I can get all these people together, especially the fact that they're all my friends, get us all together. These are people I haven't seen in years. I think I've seen Noreen, the latest. Yeah. And that's before the man who's down there who lives in the same place. You too, Carlina.
I think y'all have no excuse, okay? We have to wait till she flies over here. Y'all have no excuse.
It's true.
But the biggest thing is how is everybody adjusting now? I mean, now we're in 2022. We still got COVID on our backs and
21.
21.
Come on now.
Yeah, you skipped the year, baby. Yeah.
Listen.
We in 2021.
Listen, when you get to where we are, we got to count them, man.
I want this stuff to be over. I want things to be done. All right, fine. February 2020. This is true. 2021. How is everybody doing after a year of being in like semi-lockdowns or lots of restrictions, except for Miss moving in my mobile home girl. Ain't on no lockdown because she bringing her home everywhere with her in every state.
Yeah.
But how is everybody doing?
Well, you know what's
so
funny?
far?
We haven't left Arizona. We got back from Mexico in February of 2020, and we had all these grand plans, and we've stayed in Arizona because they locked it down. They had cities that were saying, well, you couldn't come here. If you came here, you had to quarantine for 14 days, or they were closing down national parks, so you couldn't park there. So we stayed in one state because of COVID. So we are finally going to leave towards the East Coast in April, but even though we bring our house with us, we just traveled all around Arizona. Haven't gone to California, haven't gone to the Pacific Northwest or anything.
Wow.
At least you got the motion going. But how has it been, at least for everybody else? I mean, are you still kind of stir crazy? Have you just settled on in that this is going to be another 5 or 6 months and, waiting for your shot? if you're gonna
I'm
take
not
the
taking
shot.
no shot.
I see you, Noreen.
Noreen, I feel you. I'm gonna wait. I'm waiting until
I want to see what they look like, Darryl. I want to see
You
what
know what I
everybody
mean?
look like in 6 months.
Exactly.
That's how long it's gonna take for us to get it. At least us, y'all. Because
Yeah.
I've had friends in New York, who have gotten. My friends are like, "Oh, we got our shot." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" And I thought to myself, all the stuff happening in the States, and y'all still getting out 100, 200, 300,000, 400,000 shots. We have started giving out the shot here December 27th. I don't think they're up to 50,000 people yet.
Not at
Really?
all. Not at
It's
all.
like the last number I saw was 40 something, and that was near the end of somewhere in January. And that to me was still too little.
Mhm.
So you're gonna have, believe me, we're going to see whatever change is going to happen before we even think about having to get it here. At least, it's just like a matter of
No.
waiting.
I plan on getting my shot. I'm in phase 1C because I have pre-existing conditions, and they're in
Okay.
phase 1B right now. I plan on getting my shot. I've lost 2 of my high school friends because of COVID, who died from it last March. And I just know I know many people who have been really sick and in the ICUs. And as soon as the shot's available, I plan on getting.
My upstairs neighbor's brother just died from this. Marcel, you know him, Jermaine.
Yep.
It was complications because of that, because he had it and he was in Spain and was on the respirator, blah, blah, blah. He came home, got better.
Yep.
I saw him the day before New Year's, and 2 days after New Year's, he passed in his sleep.
It was just like, because I had spoken to him like probably about a week before Christmas.
Yeah. Amazing. And my other homie's father in South Africa just passed last week. So we had 40 cases of it in my school. 40
teachers
cases.
Or a blend of teachers and students?
Of staff in general. I have no idea of the count of the students, but 40 staff members have gotten it. So it's crazy. I'm at the school every day like, hey, get away from me. Hey, get away from me. So, it's really, really, it's like a weird tightrope that we're walking as far as
I'm sorry, are people wearing masks in Sweden? I mean, because that's the big thing out here is that it has turned political. That some people are not wearing masks. The county we're in, I'd say, I don't know, 25%, 50% maybe wear masks, and the others don't.
What would you say is the percentage out here, Jermaine, in Stockholm that wear them?
And it's not even above 30%.
I was gonna be generous and say about 40. And that's a generous statement. 30.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I live outside of it's like in like being in New York, being from Manhattan and coming to Queens. I live outside of town. I just wanted to give you that depiction. So the people here in the area here, like one, I don't see many people. They're all out. They're all inside for the most part. Unless they have to go to work. So there's big gaps. People give when you're on the street or walking somewhere, they do the gap thing. I ain't mad at it at all. And the majority of them do wear masks, especially because the thing is we want people to wear. Now they're saying we recommend you wear masks in public places like the stores and transport. But then they gave this clause of during rush hour. I'm like, this is not a bicycle.
Yeah.
The mask does all the time. And especially now that we have 2 and now with the South African, there's another one.
Some other new strain apparently.
Another new strain, and we already have 2 here. We have the UK and the original.
We have 3 states that have the South African variant. So
pretty crazy.
It's all on the East Coast right now, but they expect it either the UK strain or the South African strain are going to become dominant.
Wow.
That's
The
crazy.
strongest
Yeah.
strain. Are both of them stronger?
The UK
One is
strain it's not stronger. It's just easier to get.
African.
Yeah.
The
It's
African
scary.
one is stronger, is more
Yeah.
violent, I guess, or more deadly, or um. So but I'm hoping like here in town. I think in the outskirts of town, I think people are more considerate. In town, when I go, because I usually in town once a week, and they're not. I mean, I can look on like train platforms, even though people are spacing themselves. I think because they feel they're spacing themselves, that's enough.
Yeah.
I can count on one, maybe two hands, how many of those people have on a mask.
On the entire platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I've seen the
That's
same thing.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's
I've been
and it had literally nothing to do even with politics. It's just people. Oh, I don't want to wear a mask. It's not even had nothing to do with politics.
No.
Whereas in the States, it was made a political thing
Right.
because of what was happening.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and unfortunately, it's still kind of drifting in that particular point. But now they're talking about. I have one of my friends telling me, he's like, well, when you go out, you need to wear two masks.
yes. Yes,
And
they're
I was
saying
like,
double up
my
in
God, I
in
can
America.
barely wear the one, and then I gotta wear two. I ain't going out. I can't breathe through two.
Yeah, I'll just stay home.
I haven't been out. And I am now starting to get a little stir crazy. Like I miss going to restaurants and having a glass of wine and a good meal with my friends and yucking it up,
Mhm.
But
And that's why we're here.
yeah, exactly. I haven't been away from my house like past the curb really, and when I do go outside, I always put my mask on. When I do look outside, I see people walking by. It's not a lot, Jermaine. You know where we live.
Yeah.
Not a lot of folks, but they all have their mask on.
Mhm.
I haven't seen people just being willy-nilly. Not around here anyway.
Yeah.
Noreen,
what's happening in Manhattan.
where do you live, Noreen?
Jamaica, Queens.
In
Not
what
far
part?
from you. I'm
She
like
right
on
up around-
120th,
Right.
120th and Farmers.
Farmers.
Oh, okay. You from
Yeah.
a hometown.
Yes, yes. So no movement, and I don't plan to move, and that's okay. Like I plan to live. How about that?
There you go.
So I'll sit right here. See, like how you got your glass of wine. I get down on. And I cook my food. And I eat healthy. I have my ginger lemon shots.
Nice.
Keep that stuff out of your system, and we get to walk away from this. But unfortunately, this thing is an endemic. They keep calling it a pandemic. It's here. It's not going anywhere. So we might as well just understand that's what it is.
Yeah, well put.
That's true. And it's so funny here. My husband was doing the paper, and there were articles of people, not even here, but in other countries as well, of people getting arrested. There was some kind of ice skating thing happening in some big area with, and there were like 300 people watching this event there. And I'm like, hello, where do you think you are? You think you're in a bubble?
Right.
Because I'm like, I know, and that kind of stuff I don't understand. I was like, we're here in something that could maybe kill half of you.
Right.
But, you're just going on with, just like with New Year's, because we knew when we were going to get our waves. We could predict exactly when our waves were going to come.
Yep.
Room was inside. We thought, okay, Chris, what is it, Black Friday, the week before Christmas? No, in November. We knew when that wave was going to come. And then Christmas and New Year's came. They had video of tons of people outside in town. I was inside my apartment watching the fireworks from my window. I was very comfortable. I'm like, fireworks ain't that important that I need to be outside in the cold either way. Especially not now, but you could predict when our waves are going to go up, when people are going to get infected. So I just don't understand folks at all, especially even in the States. This, I'm not wearing a mask. It's my right. And it's your right to die.
Yeah.
It is your right to die. It is your right to get sick and your right to die. But
is it your right to be able to pass that on
Exactly.
So and so and so and so.
And that's what they don't think about.
Not at all.
What they don't think about. Is it your right? Because as all of you know, I'm a massage therapist, and I would get antsy when people would come to me, especially with colds, and I would say, can't massage you. You have a cold, you have to wait. And they'd be like, really? Mm-hmm. And, but they didn't think about that. They're like, oh, but I'll feel better after the massage. And I'm like,
but
you might not feel better, and you might get 5 other people that same cold.
Exactly. And I'm like, a massage will open up your system. So whatever you have right now either could get worse because I've opened your system up, your circulation up. And I said, so that is one of the reasons why you should not get a massage when you have a cold. And then they give me another, and I said, and like, you can infect me.
Right.
Oh, but I'm not contagious. It's past the 2 or 3 days already. You have bacteria in your body, and I will be touching you. Right. I can scrub my hands for days. Who knows what I will transfer to someone else or to myself. And however that bacteria wants to change in me.
Right.
And then it's like, and they're still looking at me as if I'm going to give, and I'm like, see ya.
It's science. I mean, I'm shocked at how many people don't believe in science. I mean, this is stuff that is proven, and how we can get infected by it and so on and so forth. And it's just, I mean, we've seen, so in the bigger cities like Phoenix, and Tucson, we're an hour and a half away from Tucson, Arizona, they're more inclined to wear a mask. But in the smaller rural areas, they're like, why do I have to do this?
I think that I'm in Stockholm, and I have my own little opinion as to why I think that people, from what I've seen, and I don't go anywhere really. We've actually been on incredibly strict lockdown, more so than pretty much anyone I know. I mean, we disinfect the mail still, and we've been doing that from the beginning. The kids did not go to school. We actually petitioned, and I was ready for the fight. Then go ahead, prosecute me, and I will fight for that, because I'm not sending my kids into a cesspool if you have no clue what's going on, even if it's just to maintain order. So we were really, really hard-nosed about it. And in the beginning, my husband was on board. So I have my own personal opinions, but I feel, again, we haven't gone out. My kids have not had company. We have not gone to see people. It was just a no to the no to the no. We would go grocery shopping, Jens and I, we would go grocery shopping on Wednesdays, because it's usually elderly people, because they get a discount on Wednesdays, at least in our particular grocery store. So then you get a population that's a bit more careful, because they're a bit more sensitive, and there's fewer of them. And they're more conscious of it, so they'll keep their distance. It's not going to be a bunch of kids running around or teenagers goofing off. So we would go shopping in the morning. We did our homework, or go shopping we'd sit in the car and wait until 7 on the nose for the doors to open, and we'd be walking in with the custodial workers and security and the employees to do our shopping, because then the store was able to sit all night, and if there was a live virus, if the rules are correct, it would have been dormant. It would have died at that point. So we took it really seriously. And I just have my personal opinion. I feel that pretty much no one's wearing masks, pretty much. The few people that I see, the kids now have to go to school. So I drop them off at school and pick them up. That's when I'm out. I do the recycling several times a week. And every now and then we go grocery shopping, and I have to buy food for the spider. That's pretty much my extent of going out. But even in that instance, almost no one's wearing a mask.
Did you say food for a spider?
I did.
You have a spider?
We have a spider. Our family's kind of strange.
How big of a spider?
She's a desert tarantula. She's about the size of the palm of my hand.
Yeah, I've had one.
She's beautiful though.
Yeah, they're amazing. And
from a distance.
The coloring.
But they're fascinating. And
are they?
Quite docile.
Yeah.
An aggressive breed. So I mean, she can fight, but that's her last resort. So yeah, we have a tarantula.
Now, see, I like snakes, but I don't do. I couldn't do a spider.
I've had tarantulas, boa constrictors, all kinds of crazy.
Is this a Sweden thing? Or
Well, I had those in Chicago. The snake and the
okay.
tarantula was in Chicago.
This is
Now I just have a dog.
This isn't me. He went through this spider stage, and you gotta feed those interests. He might grow up and be a veterinarian or something, or a researcher. So you gotta feed the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But, nobody wears it here, from what I've seen. And almost every time that I do the recycling, I go on off hours. It's gotten to the point that I'll do my recycling 11 o'clock at night. Moves around. Because almost every time I do recycling, I have to ask people, like, you shut the, can you fall back on my smell? Like, I have to actually stop. There's a pandemic. And then the light goes on most of the time. You actually see your faces where they're like,
Oh yeah. Yummies.
sorry, I forgot. Because people are comfortable. So that's just my opinion. So here, at least in my area, no, they're not.
Okay.
Still having play dates. Kids are still sleeping over at each other's houses.
How far are you from a big town? Are you in a big town or a smaller town?
I live in Nacka, which is a pretty good size suburb of Stockholm.
Okay.
And it's if there's no traffic, it's like maybe a 15-minute drive to the city. So I'm on the outskirts, but I'm pretty close.
Wow.
Is it comfort or selfishness?
In Swedish, and again, this is just my opinion. I don't mean to offend anybody. It's just my opinion. In Sweden, I feel that the issue is people are trained to listen to the myndighet, the authorities, immensely. They're trained that way. And because of that, if the authorities aren't telling them it's an order or it's an instruction, if they're not giving it that way, it's not going to be picked up that way. If it's given as a recommendation, it's going to be taken as a recommendation because that's the mentality here. In my opinion. People aren't going to independently decide, okay, it's a recommendation, what do I do? It's like, okay, if it was serious, they would have given it as an order. People have said that to me. It would have been an instruction. It's okay.
You're
It's not as
absolutely
bad as
right.
it is in the area. So I think it's just, they didn't want hysteria. They still wanted to maintain control of the public. They didn't want people losing faith in the government itself. So they gave it as a recommendation, and people are taking it that way. They're taking it like, I'll get sick, but I'll be okay. Our government, our government doesn't kill us. We pay taxes so that there's always a myndighet to take care of whatever problem we have. So if the myndighet said to do this, we listen to the. That's my opinion. We listen to the myndighet.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Like you guys. So I'm like, well, where I come from, quite often the government is not looking out for my best interest.
Correct. Correct.
I have been trained to question.
Noreen, we just went through that, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been trained to respectfully question
Everything.
So my husband and I go at odds with it because he just blindly takes it because it's already gone through the filtration system of the government here, so he can trust what is pooped out. And for me, I'm like, you still got to sift through that poop because you don't know what's in it. The government is not looking out for you; it's looking out for the herd.
Wow.
So that's just my opinion. So here, no, they're not. I'm constantly turning down play dates and getting irritated with parents because I have to keep telling them, stop calling me every other day. We're not doing that. You know.
Hello.
I gotta admit, my hat's off to you as a parent because I cannot imagine raising my kids during a pandemic. I think the teachers are unbelievable. I think the parents, oh my God, I don't know how you do it because I could not have. I think you would have buckled down and done it, but oh my goodness, raising kids are hard enough.
Exactly.
And then throw in the pandemic.
Yeah, it's quite frightening. Everything's disinfected regularly. I have a very, very strict system in our home. And the kids know it. The minute they come in the door,
I love it.
Put your bag to the side, your shoes stay outside, your coat goes on this rack so it can air out. You spray it on your coat, you spray it on your bag, you go directly to the bathroom, you have your wash, you have your disinfectant. I mean, we are really strict.
I love it.
It's so cool.
I love it. Yeah.
As it should be.
Yes.
I had no choice because I looked at it to my husband. I'm like, you are a member of this community. I am not. And my mentality is very different than yours. And I think that I still live with a very slight fear. It's not here in my face, but it's a fear, and I hope it just stays a fear, that if it comes down to a respirator fight between me and someone who's not a community member here, I'm not sure I'm giving that priority.
Speak.
Ooh.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah, that was deep.
Yeah, I told him that. I said, so no, if you're going to be on board with me on this, then you be on board. It's that simple. So we've been very, very clear.
It's the facts. And not only that, if we were doing what you're doing, I happen to be doing the same, maybe this thing wouldn't be so rampant. Hello?
Exactly.
If we all had a can of Lysol and really used it, it might not be at this point.
Exactly. And like you were saying, it's hard if you're a parent, because my kids my son is 13, so he's on the computer with his friends a lot, so it doesn't affect him as much. My daughter is 10. She's turning 11 in April, and she's been bouncing off the walls because she's not in that computer age yet, where she could just with her friends. And I have to constantly tell them, I said, listen to me carefully. I said, there is a reason why viruses don't have feet or wings or supersonic speed, because they don't need it. I said, we as the host effectively transfer them so they don't have to evolve and mutate to get feet or wings or any other thing to move around to its prey. It doesn't need to do that. It just sits and waits for our ignorance, and we effectively transfer it. I said, if we stop, maybe viruses would start to evolve where they can, move around on their own. But right now they don't need to. It's not a survival necessity, because we're quite effective.
Yes, we are.
So I told my kids that, remember that. Viruses don't get up and move around. You pick them up, so you have to be careful.
True.
Because the biggest thing here I noticed, especially at the beginning last year, I always remember the turn of the year between January and March. There's usually, we have this thing called kräksjuka, and it's, what is it? It's like a stomach virus.
Yes.
And I think a lot, it starts, I think, mostly in the day schools, and then it gets transferred back and forth to parents and stuff like that. Last year, I didn't hear about a case, because it gets so bad, they talk about it on the news.
On the news.
I didn't hear a case, nothing. I said to myself, because your nasty butt started washing your hands. Yep. That's why we're not hearing about it.
I teach first and second graders here in Sweden, and it's that you nailed it right on the head, Jermaine. And they were talking about that amongst the staff, where it's like, all these other diseases have just been wiped away, but this is the one that's killing us. But I'm at a school where it's from first grade through ninth grade, 3 separate buildings, 2 of them on one side of the street, 1 on the other, and we regularly intermingle with all of the kids on a daily basis, 3 times a day, 5 days a week. So there really is no kind of precautions that are being taken at all. And us as the staff, we've all been freaking out, like, and you can see it, like it went from building to building to building. The preschool kids got it, and all the staff there got it, and then the special needs building got it, where all the kids that are handicapped and so forth, all the staff there got it. Then, the 9th through, the middle and stadiate kids, we say, like the middle grade kids, and I work with the younger kids, and that was just before the Christmas break. And my people started getting it in the class in front of me, the 3rd graders. I teach with 2nd and 1st. And I went on vacation, and thank God I didn't get it. But it was like I could see it coming. You could see the wave coming.
Like a bunch of sheep waiting for the slaughter. It's like,
yeah. And we take no precautions, lunchtime, all the kids are there. Now we have little stations with handspree where the kids are supposed to go in. They don't do that. They're in 2nd grade. You know what I mean? So it's pretty scary.
Yeah. It is. I have my opinion. My husband hates it. And can we speak freely on here? Is that okay?
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Freak as free as you choose to. Do it, girl.
I only say this because, again, we're raised in 2 different cultures. But I told him, I said, listen, you have to think what a government is designed to do. It's designed to govern the people. Okay, that's the only purpose of a government. It's not a personal being that has compassion or shame or any personal feelings. It is a group of minds that is designed for the sole purpose of governing the masses of people. And I told him, I said, look at how you guys handled it when it came in. the first lockdown should have been on the nursing homes and the hospitals and the place where people can't get up and help themselves. That's just common sense. That's common sense with a regular cold, with a regular flu, never mind a pandemic. And you did nothing.
Nothing.
And so you basically executed these people because you knew that's what was going to happen. Once it gets in there,
Right.
it just goes. I said, and I think that wasn't, and this is, I hope it's not true, but I'm a little nervous of this, that wasn't so much the concern, because the way it works is if you have people who pay all their life, like in America, if you work and you pay taxes, and the system is designed to hope that you die before you get most of your pension. That's how it is in pretty much every country. And it's the same thing here. It's the same thing here. It's like, okay, so you got a pension coming, but we give you your age to retire based on the life expectancy. So we're hoping we really don't have to pay you that much and we get the rest. Okay, I understand that. If the majority of the people who are initially being wiped out by this virus are the people who are sitting around collecting pensions, who does that really hurt as far as the governing body is concerned?
Right.
You know, it's kind of
Nailed it.
sad. It's sad. It's horrible. It's no one's actually pulling a trigger. It's horrific, but the reality is, you know, it's kind of the herd theory. You know, that's where la guerre comes from. The team, the idea of the team. La guerre. When they say everything here is lagom, which is only a Swedish term, not even Scandinavian. It's just a Swedish term.
Just Swedish,
Yeah.
not even Norwegian. My lady's
it's not.
Norwegian. They don't even use that shit.
It comes from the idea of the team. That you have to know your place so that everybody in the team gets something. That's what all that lagom, laget, all of that comes from. Log, the law, comes from that as well, because the Vikings used it as the law was the team. And it's the same mentality, in my opinion, that it's if you can't run fast enough, let the lions eat you so the rest of us can move forward. That's effective. You know,
What an analogy.
they needed that. But now it's kind of like, can't we all kind of move forward? So I think it's just a ripple effect of that, where it's like, you know, if they die off, it's sad, it's horrible, but
Well, wait a minute. Are you saying that you're like my 95-year-old uncle just got his first shot, and they are making a concerted effort to inoculate the nursing homes. They're in the first phases. And are you saying that they're not down there, or?
No, they are. They're in the first phases
now.
Oh, okay.
Social media has changed this, where there's a lot of saving face. And
Thank you.
Here. Yeah, and you know,
Thank you.
You don't want to be known as we set the tired and the weak up for the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Listen, don't be impressed by that.
Yeah,
because they were dropping.
You change it. So
they were dropping.
Doing it at home is for liability reasons. At this point, they're going to be suffering lawsuits if they don't take some concerted action at home.
Yeah, I agree.
Here
they were dropping.
Yeah,
they were dropping in these places. What was happening in those places was atrocious. The facilities not having facilities to even deal with that.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Bodies being left in their bed until a funeral home could get there that couldn't get there. Like what happened really, like every government should be sued.
Yep.
Wow.
By its people, because it is just disgusting.
It was really a disservice to the community, to the people as a whole, everywhere. It really was, because like I said, the government in every country, their purpose is to govern and conserve money so they can continue to govern comfortably. And here, once the notoriety, you know, once they got known for it, it's like, okay, you know, we're the humanitarians of the world. We let in all the refugees and immigrants. Sweden did that. No other country in Europe. Sweden opened its doors and let people come in, which is remarkable. So they want that humanitarian
Edge.
Yeah, to stay. So when the social media started to show that, people were like, what are you doing, Sweden? They're like, oh, we're fixing this right now.
Now, I've heard New Zealand has done well with the whole COVID ever since it started.
Didn't they just open their country back up?
Yeah,
like officially?
They locked down. They said, okay, we're not going to do this. They locked down. They did a lot of things, and they had it under control.
Norway was down to the single digits.
Really?
Wow.
They had like 8 or 9 people or something in the whole country. But they're not joking. They have the National Guard controlling their entire border.
Their whole border. And but they had another influx recently, from what I understand. Or I'm not sure. Baby, wasn't that? Did you guys just have another influx in Norway of COVID? What did your mom say?
Yeah, the British British one came in.
Yeah, that British one has hit them apparently.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that mutated version or whatever you want to say has reached them as well too. Because we were talking about trying to go visit my lady's mom, and we won't be able to get there without a shot. And
Yeah.
it's like you say, they have the National Guard is on the borders
Yeah.
on every major highway, whoop-de-woo, like they're not messing around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, and I
New
think
Mexico, here, New Mexico pretty much locked down. If you cross into New Mexico, which is neighboring Arizona, you have to quarantine for 14 days. I mean, they are very insistent. They've been like that since pretty much the beginning.
Mhm.
So,
as all states should have been. I mean, like
so we
here,
have some states that are doing things differently.
yeah, yeah. That's the biggest thing because of the fact, like here, they couldn't. The reason they couldn't give us a lockdown is because they'd have to make it a law, and in the statutes of our government, it has to go through an agreement, something like that. That has to come down as a law. Has to go through the government, go through that system before it becomes something that they can use as a law. Because I thought the same thing. I was like, just say it's a lockdown of that, blah blah blah, and they was like, no, we can't do that. We can't. We can recommend. We can strongly recommend. We can strongly restrict. We can strongly encourage. And hope that people will follow those directions. And there are a lot of people who do follow those directions. But when it doesn't, when they feel, well, I can slip this one day, they have to think it's not just you that's slipping that day. It's 4,000 or 5,000 other people who are doing that same thing. And if all of you are, like I said, that ice skating thing, I forgot what it was. It was some kind of race with 300 or 400 people standing there, and none of them are thinking about the fact that we're still in a pandemic, and they're all just standing there cheering on, no one in masks, that kind of thing is like, well, that little half of those people, hopefully, if they get sick, will only get slight symptoms and nothing more will happen. But that's where the numbers keep going like this.
Problem though, and you have a lot of those asymptomatic people. I've met about 5 of them. 2 of them are my neighbors, completely asymptomatic.
Yeah.
Not an itch, nothing, not even dry skin, and they transfer it. And then you have the super spreaders, who are sometimes also asymptomatic, and they super spread it. It's unbelievable. It's like, listen, there's no other option. You're going to have to keep distance. People get comfortable, they forget. Virus, you don't see it. If someone could just paint, someone should do that. Someone should take like paint and paint virus around the city. I'm serious. Someone should just paint like green, gooky looking virus on things, because that reminds you, like, oh yeah, virus. I shouldn't be touching the handles. I should use my arm to open the door. People forget because you don't see it, you don't smell it, so they forget. They get focused on where they got to go. So someone should do that. Someone should just put
that's a great idea.
Yeah, put up fake virus in different parts of the city, and that will keep it here. So every time you see it, you'll be like, oh, you know what? That's true. Let me sit over here where I'm away from people. Oh, you know what? That's true. I don't need to eat out today. I'll eat at home. You need that reminder.
And here it's almost a constant reminder. But that you pretty much hit it on the nail. Until they make it a direction as opposed to a suggestion, Swedes aren't going to take it seriously at all. It's sad, but it's true. What I mean? You really made a lot of seriously valid points here as to how, just the Swedish culture is to literally blindly follow the rules because they are the rules. There's no questioning them. There's no thinking outside the box to maybe find a better situation than that rule. Those are the rules, and that's it. Punkt slut, period. And no one has really taken it seriously here because of that. So
I told my husband, he said, oh, it's a recommendation. I was like, that's
yeah, see?
It was a recommendation here too, by the way. They told us we can't tell you to lock down, but we're suggesting it. And everybody, we're always ready for a vacation. So everybody's like, okay, we'll stay inside. But they never really said you have to.
Wow.
No. Yeah.
poor little Barbados right now, they did the same thing. They opened up the borders. Oh, we need the tourists to come in. Let's open it up. And they let the UK in. And so 220,000 on that little island. We're up to 20 dead now.
Wow.
They were doing their bus crawls and people were escaping the hotels and they went around. And now it's like a big concern there. My poor cousins are panic stricken. I'm like, listen, just stay in the house. Stay in the house, have your groceries delivered, stay in your house.
Stay in your house. Yeah.
Horrible.
That happened here up north. There's a ski resort or something they had up north. And the employees apparently, this is, I don't know, it's like a month or 2 months ago, they were bored. And instead of just you working, so, be bored in your room, because that's where you're supposed to be. They all got up at a party in one of the rooms, all of them all together.
They should be arrested.
And they were all fired. He fired them all. But I thought to myself, and I thought it afterward because I was happy. I was like, yes, that's exactly what should have happened. They should have all been fired because they were given these type of rules. And then afterward, I thought about it. I woke up, I said, you know what? He should have quarantined them all first.
Yes, because now they're out here.
Because he didn't, I mean, of course, you see it and you're like, you're gone. Because, of course, that first thing, I want you out.
Yeah.
But I thought of it, I said he should have quarantined them first and then let him out. But then that might have caused, that might have caused more fury because he wasn't trying to pay him for 2 weeks. I would just slide that food, call the authorities or whatever. But I thought to myself, you couldn't stick to the rules of a job you had, for only and it wasn't like it's an all year job. It's seasonal. You're lucky you had the job.
Right. This is like October till February.
Yeah. So let me bring on my beautiful friend here. Where's the baby? Yes, I told him about you, bro.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
This is Bruno. This is Bruno Silva. He is an athlete, a hardworking man, a father, a musician, a rapper. He's just got it all on his paper. I met him. He would come
How's everybody doing?
Yeah, he would
good,
come
brother. Good to have you here.
The jams that we had at with the band. And that's how we met him.
I haven't seen you before. I'm like, I've seen this fella somewhere before. It had to have been one of your jams.
Yeah. She's our inspirational person here in Sweden, in Stockholm.
Oh, you're in Sweden too. Okay.
No, but we're sitting here talking about lovely COVID, and you just had a newborn. How old is this child?
He has became 3 months yesterday. So
okay.
Yeah. So it's not that much sleeping going on, but we're very happy. And his 5-year-old daughter is very happy as well. So we fighting a good fight to try to stay awake and all the good.
Congratulations.
So you got a house full of girls, do you, Bree?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You got a house full of girls.
No, it's a boy, baby boy.
Oh boy, okay. So I was like, you said I was like, okay. Oh, okay. So it's even up. It's 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
It's even up. No, it's 2 on 2. No, it's 2 on 2, yeah. So we're very happy. He's really big too.
Yeah.
He's got the size of a 6 months old baby. So.
Wow. All right.
Nice, strong.
He's only 3.
Yeah. You're like how tall? I mean.
6'7", 6'8" on a good day.
Oh gosh.
Well, where everybody's talking from? Everybody's in Sweden now?
Oh no, everyone is not in Sweden. Go ahead, y'all tell them where y'all are. Tell them where y'all are.
I'm in Arizona in United States.
I'm in New York in the United States.
Okay, New York is getting cold.
Snow tomorrow.
Snow,
Can
yeah.
I ask? Go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
can I ask, what did you guys think of January 6th? What happened at the Capitol? I mean, from a worldwide perspective. I mean, I know what we thought here.
I thought this, it's been like so surreal that I don't think nothing that shocks us anymore. It's just like, oh yeah, that's just another. You know, I saw like a meme online that said like, yeah, we had a good solid 5 minutes. Let's cheer to that, because it's like when I saw it literally felt like, because I was watching his speech, and then I was like, yeah, people are not gonna listen to him. My friends were saying that people were not gonna listen to him. I was like, listen, I live in Texas. People will listen to him. Like, this is not, you know, to take it. I don't know. So it was, for me, it was more like, oh, here we go again. After all the craziness that, you know, that dude been doing. So I think for me here, like, people was just like in shock. Like, how could this even be possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of my people here.
We're glad that the situation is over.
Yeah, man, a lot of my friends here in Stockholm were thinking the same shit. Like, my personal friends were like, yo, this is crazy. How could they even storm the Capitol like this, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, for me personally, like, I'm an ex-Marine. So for me to see how they breached the Capitol so easily blew my mind as a military.
Oh my God! Yeah.
As a military guy, I was like, "Yo, how are they able to just do this? This is crazy." So, you know, like, I try not to play into the conspiracy theories or whatever, but that was definitely, man, they let them in.
I was like, yeah, I'm a big conspiracy guy, and I was looking at all the videos.
And then when it all came out,
and like how the cops was the guys coming in.
You know, and then once you started seeing them with selfies,
and I think,
look ahead,
exactly, brother. And like doing lives while they going in it, they didn't care at all. They were doing lives, like people doing literally like Facebook Live, Instagram Live, like, we here, we're gonna take our country back. It was just like another thing that was like to clown like a horrible era in the States. You know, I went to college in Texas and Florida, and I was in the States when, you know, the September 11th happened. So, you know, like, it was almost, of course, it's not as traumatic, but it was just like, oh my God, like, this is really happening. Like, it's like, it's happening right now, and yeah.
But okay, take those two.
Unfortunately, we didn't leave with. Go ahead.
No, take those two dates in particular. Like, if you want to even compare the two, because I was still at home when 9/11 hit as well too, and I was actually I was actually in Vegas when it happened, and my ex-wife and I were going to drive to the Grand Canyon, whatever. So we rented a car. I forgot where we were going to drive, but there were literally military police that stopped us on the entrance to the expressway, like before the second plane had hit. There was a military police that stopped us, turned us from driving on the expressway. Yo, it's a national emergency, blah, 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 go back. And we were like, what's going on? We went back to our hotel and watched the second plane hit the tower. So if they were that coordinated for that to happen and to stop me from driving in Vegas, you know good and well that they knew what was going to happen with these people.
They knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah, man.
But look at who was doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's okay. And let's not think it's over, folks. The only good thing about that dude was he allowed people who had their eyes closed to see that it's still alive and well.
And that's
exactly
and it is not over, people.
And not just in the States, and not just in the States, all over the world. Like, I'm Brazilian, so our president copy and pasted his whole entire, like, you know, presidency. Like, he's talking about, you know, like, use the words like fags and like black people are lazy, and like he's saying that on national TV, because at least Trump is a little bit, you know, educated. Our president is like straight from the military, so he really like it's almost like he don't give a shit. Like he was like, wow, this dude is really saying stuff like that on national TV. Like, oh, it's just a little. He said like, oh, it's just a little flu, you know, about COVID. And like, it's so many things. It's like, and then people's like, dude, look what happened in the States. Are we really gonna let this dude, you know, be our president 4 more years? Like, this is what you want. So it kind of like woke people up all over the place. Look what happened in Russia right now. Like, yeah. So it's like people's like, hey, people are fed up. So hopefully, you know, we turn the page and better days will come.
I'm not so convinced, brother.
Yeah.
I'm not so convinced.
Man, this is the beginning.
The saddest picture for me was the Confederate flag marching through the Capitol.
Yeah.
That just set me. I was like, because my my father served in World War II.
Okay.
And I just seeing that just said something like, wow, we're really at this moment.
Yeah.
So,
man, they cracked a police officer's head wide open with a fire extinguisher.
I know.
And all of those Blue Lives Matter people just was.
Yeah, nobody here. Fox is not saying anything.
Nothing.
Because they
don't
were
even
there.
On a personal level. Yeah, exactly. Because they were there. They was like third row, aisle number, you know. You ain't even lying.
Listen,
but
that Confederate.
Go ahead,
that
Noreen.
Confederate flag didn't even bother me. What bothered me even more was my people sleeping in the Capitol. Those uniforms sleeping in the Capitol. That bothered me more than that flag. You know, the fact that they might have to actually become armed against the citizens of this country because they're just crazy about making sure their country stays lily.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
When it's impossible. It's in freaking possible. It's not a thing, people. Stop it. It's not a thing. But that's why they're fighting so hard. Because it's not a thing.
Guys, I'm sorry, I gotta do daddy duties. I probably next time I'll be here at 5 o'clock and like, you know, engage in the conversation. I love it.
Great to see you, bro.
Great meeting you guys. Just wanted to come up really quick and say hi.
I want to escape too, bro. Take positive. Me with you.
Stay positive, and you know, I will talk to you next time.
All right, Bruno.
All right,
later. Thank you for popping in.
With you. I don't want to take you. He's going, dang, it didn't work.
He got them kids. But people, it is Black History Month.
Yeah.
This is Black
Every
History
day
Month.
is Black History.
Every day is a history of Black folks. This just happens to be in the month it gets amplified in some certain way, shape, or form. I'm happy to say that I'll be doing for the American Club, they'll be doing a social conversation in another week or so, and I'll be hosting along with someone else. I'll be hosting a panel of people to discuss this. So have a social conversation discussing Black America and Black history and the stuff that people just don't know. You know, not as a debate. It's gonna, you know, people have questions. You know, people have questions, and this is going to be the place where you can ask those questions, you know, and not be confronted or judged. It's just a point. People need to learn a lot of stuff about Black history that is not taught. Even we were not taught as much as we should have been taught when we were in school regarding our own Black history.
For real.
And a lot of the stuff I learned was from my parents, especially my mama. You know, I mean, and as years went on, it was always that she always insisted on learning so many things. And the fact that she experienced a lot of the stuff, you know, was even a greater thing, you know, to hear those stories and to listen to all the things that happened back then. So this particular, so I hope you know, if you guys are around, I hope you guys are here and listening. To everyone out there who is listening here, subscribe to the channel, and also I'll be posting actually a link for the American Club's A Social Conversation. It won't be on this channel, it'll be on the American Club of Sweden channel. It'll be an open channel, so you can also meet up in there. I'll make sure you guys find out about that as well. But I've been not researching, but I've been just reading a lot more, kind of actually just trying to remember a lot of stuff. And I had come across an article about about the military, more so Black military, and it was I don't know the word, but there were Black men, army men, and they were in the UK, and apparently they were treated very well. You know, there were no lines, there was no redlining, there was no black white thing. They were treated just as they are, as military men, as citizens, as that. And apparently the white army men did not appreciate that and tried to tell the
To stop it.
to stop.
Yeah.
And when they didn't stop, all hell broke loose. And I was like, wow, you actually tried to enforce this.
They tried to enforce their segregation laws. Yes.
The Jim Crow.
Yeah.
Not even just another state, but in a whole other country.
Whole other country. I believe it was in France or Germany. I'm not quite
sure.
No,
it was in the UK.
Was it the UK? Okay, yeah, because I've heard this exact story as well too. And the club owners and the people of that community literally pushed to have it opposite.
Right.
So that, you know, like all of the brothers were welcome there and treated like true people in a time where, the white servicemen from the same platoons and so forth couldn't even handle it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I mean, shit, I was in the Marines from 87 till 92, and there was still a distinct difference. You know, we were all green, but they saw when you spoke about the Marines, the first thing that came out of someone's mouth is he a light green Marine or a dark green Marine? So God. I swear to God, and they still made that distinction within the military. We were all green, but I was a dark green Marine.
Oh, I knew that.
Oh yeah,
my uncle, my 95-year-old uncle, he was one of the first Black Marines in World War II. So he was part of the Mumford Point Marines and got a commemorative gold. They finally awarded a commemorative gold medal to him in the 2000s, somewhere 2002 or something like that, for their service. And it was an honor to see all these men who had come first for Marines. And he had just some stories of how hard it was, but he believed in America and wanted to serve. And that was the same with my dad in the Navy. And so thank you for your service, Darryl.
Thank you.
Say the same thing. Thank you for your service.
Man, we still weren't treated equal.
Yeah, that's what hurts me, because here he is. He felt he went through it so that it would be better for you.
For me, yeah, and nothing had changed. You know what I mean?
That's sad.
But it's like you said before, like, this is just the beginning. It's not over. It's not over. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Trump was the dude that held the mirror up to them and to all the other people who didn't know or didn't want to know what was going on. Yeah. You know what I mean? But now everybody just kind of knows what's going on. It's are we going to address it? Are we going to deal with it? You know, that's the next thing. And there's going to be some conflict before they even ready to try to relinquish their power. They know that it's over. They're freaking the fuck out. You know what I mean? I would rather burn down the playground. I would rather pop my soccer ball than let anybody else play with it. That's the mentality that's going on right now. You know, if we can survive these fools that are in power now, then we have a chance. But you know, they seem to want to take everything down.
Yeah, I just describe it as just a whole bunch of hooligans trying to, you know, they got in and it's like, okay, what do we do now? I was like, okay, y'all had no concept. It was just a bunch of bullies saying, yeah, we're going to get in here. And then you in there. Now what?
It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. Think about it. The Capitol. Who built the Capitol?
Right.
Hello.
People that look like us. Hello.
Exactly.
Hello.
Exactly.
I heard, and I'm really praying it's a rumor, but I don't believe it is, that they had gotten to the point that they started smearing human waste on the.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
they did.
Yes.
All over the place.
Yes.
All over the place. And how did all of these brothers and sisters wind up working that particular shift at the Capitol that particular day?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Most of the police officers that were there, at least in the Capitol, were brothers. You know, and the sister that punched the lady, not shot her, because she could, although she was well in fear for her life and her safety, she punched that woman and she was fired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She got fired.
Really?
Yeah. And all she did was punch one of the women that were in her face. Although she was being surrounded by these
wow.
people. Well, she said,
I wish I could go fight that case for her.
Man.
Oh, I'd love to be her union rep. I'd rip a hole in their behind.
That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. It's necessary.
Her job. They charged her with assault or something like that, and I don't think that they charged the other woman, but the woman reached to take her phone, and the black lady took it as an assault. I mean, if you're being surrounded by people calling you racial slurs, someone reaches towards your person, particularly your face, your reaction is to either protect or to push away, which I think is more than reasonable. And she punched her.
Yeah.
So they said, well, now this woman's going to be charged with assault. I'm like, how is she being charged with assault? It's very clear in the video. The woman even admitted, I was trying to take her phone. You have no right to take her phone. You shouldn't have been reaching towards her at all.
No, but it's the and like I said, the biggest I don't know, the entitlement of it all was when you know the fact that there was the videotaping and Instagramming, like. Yeah, and then Monday I'm gonna go back to work, you know, and talk about what I did over the weekend. Yeah, because I stormed the Capitol, and I just watched as all these people just got arrested as they got off the plane, as they got on the plane, they were shocked and crying and
they were getting arrested,
and they were like, but they called me a domestic terrorist, because honey, that's what you are now.
That's what you are now.
That's what you are now. That is what you're charged with, because that's what you did.
Donald Trump told us that we was gonna take the government back.
And where Donald?
Yeah.
Where Donald at? Where he at? Where he at? Because he sure didn't. He didn't pardon you either.
Exactly. Ask Rudy that question.
You know, but I mean, we'll see what happens as that boat floats. We have a new government. We have a new power. We're hoping that it's going to take a while for people to realize that, you know, it's going to be bumpy, but it's just moving forward.
Were you watching Inauguration Day when Kamala Harris was sworn in? Was that? It brings tears to my eyes now.
I teared up.
I teared up. I was like, I wish my dad and my mom could have seen that moment.
Yeah.
I was proud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, but all these people are so worried that she's gonna put something in his drink one day or smother him with a pillow.
Oh my God!
And you know, and then the Kamala gonna take over. The Kamala is gonna get us.
The Kamala.
Oh my God.
The Kamala.
Man, bro.
Oh my God.
Man, these people are tripping. How are your spouses dealing with this? Do they understand? Are they able to empathize? Well, you know what I mean? Like,
mine has been, you know, he comes to me with more. I don't follow the circus because I take it too personally. I get very emotional. I get very frustrated. So I intentionally try not to follow the circus. But he does. So he comes to me with information just regularly, continually. But I mean, he's been very supportive. He's been very, he objects it openly. He stands behind the logic. But Sweden's been good about that in general. And I think that's the one good thing about all this madness is that it exposed what was taking place within American borders that we were able to keep quiet for so long. Now the rest of the planet's like, wait a minute, you guys are still doing this? Because even my husband he's like, I thought that was like back in the old days and they still think like that. And I'm like, yeah, it's very much a mentality at home. So I think that exposed it for the planet, which is progress. That's progress.
Yeah, I agree. I concur.
It's progress, but I think it's also because everyone's like, oh, it's Trump. And I said, all Trump did was give them permission.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he did. He gave them permission to behave the way they always wanted.
Been waiting to.
That was there already. Gave the permission for something that was there already. I get also, oh well, that was, slavery was a long time ago. What do people? I was like, how? And I asked people, especially, how old are you, or how old is your parent? And they're like 40, 50. That's how long ago we talking about.
Exactly.
We're not talking about 1,000 years ago.
Right.
U.S. ain't that old. The U.S. is not old.
Right.
And I
tell people. Oh, go ahead, Jermaine.
No, and I said Europe is old. U.S. ain't that old. And I said, and at the beginning of it, there was only 13 colonies, not all 50. I said, so a lot went on. It's not, and it's still not old. All that stuff is still happening. It might not be happening right under your nose because because it's not something that you see because you're not in the scope to see it. And this is literally in terms of white and black. I mean, I've had friends who are white who come to me and they asked me about the points of, well, what does this mean, or what does white privilege mean, or what is this, what because they don't know and I said, these aren't bad words. I said, it's nothing bad about it. I said, it's just a vision of saying, this is something you've never gone through.
Right.
I've gone through it, and I've seen other people go through it, but you don't have the right to tell me it's not real because you haven't gone through it. And I said, this is just a part of my life. And it to a point, and then I had to think about it, and I read about it even in some book, and I even thought about it. It's to a point where we, and yes, as Black folks, sometimes have a better understanding of everything around us, because we have to be, and I don't want to use this word lightly, docile. We have to be the ones to kind of sit back. You can't get too upset. You can't do this. You can't
show anger.
And because, and not just because of all the stuff of last year. I'm talking about a lifetime.
A lifetime
of things that were taught, even indiscriminately, just taught without words. You were taught these things. And then, to the point where, I know you better than you know you, kind of thing. And we see that, we know that that's there. So when we start to talk, and then people want to come to us and question, well, how do you know that? Where did you get that from? And then question your education as to, well, what kind of education do you have? And blah, 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 blah. Excuse me, education and experience are most of the time one and the same. You can have all the education in the world and not know a darn thing.
Not know a damn thing.
Hey.
Not know a damn thing.
A person with the experience of putting their hands and feet in it sometimes knows more than that person who did those 8 or 10 years of whatever education it is. I'm not covering them all because it's not true with them all, but some of them, yes. And that's all there is to it. And people have to actually balance that out. And I think some people don't. Some people do not. But we will see. We will see what is happening, sooner or later life. Okay, I'm going to turn this around now. What joys have occurred in these last months of your lives? What are the good things that are going to be happening that you planning for yourself for this year? What are you planning for yourselves this year?
Go ahead, D.
I got a brand new, well, he's not brand new. He'll be a year old next week, kind of Corso. So I'm back on my dog shit. So I'm really happy to have a dog in my life. Things are really cool. Yeah. Musically, I haven't been messing around. My rock band is basically defunct right now. I don't know what's going on. We haven't done or rehearsed or done anything in almost 2 years now. So I think we're dead, but I've been making a lot of house music and some techno shit.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. I got a record that's coming out probably the end of March. So I just, actually yesterday, I was at the studio of a Swedish label and played him some of my joints, and he was like, yeah, man, this is dope. Let's do it. So I'm gonna be releasing some house music soon. Yeah, I'm really
You gotta
happy.
send me, yeah, like I said before, you gotta send me those social links so I can post them over here on.
Yeah, I'll
over
do
the
so.
Zoom.
Yeah, I'll do so. I'll do
that.
so. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so
Well, I sell hair accessories. I used to be in IT and a server administrator and worked my career in that, and it was good money, but I gave it up when we started RVing, and I'm glad I don't have the stress anymore. And now I sell hair accessories,
Wow.
and I've won 5-6 national awards with my company.
Get down.
And so I plan on
Nice.
trying to get a YouTube channel going. So I'm learning from you.
Come on now, get on it.
Going to show my hair accessories out there. And
share these
so-
links. Share these links. I'm bald as
Yes,
hell, but I'll subscribe.
send
you got support.
I told you because I knew you had something, and I knew Darryl you had, and I said send your links.
Send
Let
your
me post these links.
Okay.
We will do so.
Get
Okay.
out of town. See, I ain't got nothing to have. No. Carlina, what you doing? What you got planned for your
Carlina
year?
has turned a corner, finally. I have decided that this year I will be taking the bull by its horns. I'm done studying Swedish. I'm tired of school. I'm done with school in general.
I hear you.
I've pretty much been in school since I moved here, which was not part of the plan. So I'm going to be doing some heavy social networking and just putting my foot in the door and making my way, because I need to go back into my own. I love my family, I love my kids, but that wasn't my plan. I was always on the corporate ladder. So I need to get to work, and I'm going to make opportunities. I'm not sure. I'm fiddling around with different ideas of which fields to go into. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I really need to work. So I've told myself, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but come hell or high water, I have to secure gainful employment.
Yes.
There you go. That's how you. That's it.
I just can't. I mean, I've learned my Swedish. I finally got it, but enough. I need to go back to what I was originally trained for, and it wasn't sitting in Swedish class.
I hear you.
Where are you from originally?
Me? I'm from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Come on now. Do you guys really need to speak Swedish?
What? If I... Huh?
Did you go to SFE to study Swedish?
Of course.
And that was horrible.
It was horrific.
How long were you there? Have
I
you just
went
finished?
to-
Is that the only Swedish studying you've done?
No, I've done
Okay.
the whole gambit. See, the problem is my degree doesn't transfer here, so I had to start all over.
Ah, okay,
It's
I
not
feel
part
you.
of the plan. The
Right,
understanding was
yeah.
that it could transfer, and it does not, because America's not part of the European Union.
Yeah, that happens
So I have to
often.
start from ground zero. So I had to go to SFE, which I did, but I did it. And then I went to SAS
Yeah.
Grund, and then I went to SAS for Högskoleutbildning.
Okay.
Then I got a master's, and I got another master's, and now I'm just doing classes that are getting me to speak more often.
Okay.
I've been in
Okay.
school pretty much my whole time here,
Wow.
and I did it the whole way. I did
Okay.
it because to get another degree, you have to get your Högskoleutbildning pretty much
Yeah.
in almost anything. So I had to get my GED. So I graduated from high school a year ago.
All right. All right.
Good for you.
The
Good for
Swedish
you.
equipment.
Yeah, good for you.
Thank
Awesome.
you. It was quite
Awesome.
an accomplishment because this was not part of the plan.
Oh, I'm
No.
clear.
It really wasn't. I was
No.
like, no, this was not what I was planning on doing.
Well
But
done.
I'm done. I said, enough with the schooling. Enough with I didn't think I would need Swedish. Everybody told me I wouldn't, including my husband, and everybody didn't think I would. But Sweden is very traditional, and they want you to go through their system to be in their system. So I after the other degrees, I was like, okay, I'm still not getting anything. I had to start from zero,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
and it was work. I didn't plan on it.
Noreen?
Hello.
It's cracking.
Listen, I'm excited because I'm sort of in my last few. I have like 5 classes left to finish this degree, and then I'll take my boards. I literally I'm stunned by being home because it's given me the opportunity to really study and retain, um, So I'm doing Anatomy 3 right now.
Wow.
I thought I'd be
Wow.
retired and doing this kind of stuff, but I'm doing pretty well in that. So I'll be finished with that soon. I'm doing some coaching, a little bit of life coaching. I got my business up right before COVID hit. Pastel Journeys Professional Coaching and Consulting, and I'm doing pretty well there. And
I'm sorry, one more time, Pastel.
Pastel Journeys Coaching and Consulting,
Okay.
a place where you draw the life you desire.
Oof.
I love that.
And I want that link
Hello?
too. So just remember that. I want that link too.
You know what? I've just taken this time to be grateful.
Yeah.
Grateful. Look outside, see the sun, I'm grateful. Look outside, see the rain, I'm grateful. Grateful, grateful, grateful. No matter what, grateful.
I ask you, what do you? I find your studies remarkably interesting. I would have preferred to do that than to go through SFE and all the other Swedish stuff. What are you going to do when you're done? I do. I find that fascinating. I really do. I've always found that fascinating. What do you plan on doing with it when you're done?
There was a time, because this is something that's been on my mind since we were kids, right? But our parents were about, oh, go get your civil service job, get your pension, lock it in. Rah, 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 rah. Okay, so I did that. But something was still calling. So there was a time when I wanted to, I don't want to say change, I'll use the word adjust the way funerals and the funeral home and the place and how they were conducted looked. Like that dreary, that thing just wasn't a thing when this person lived a whole life.
Right.
And we seem to look at that moment and say, oh, that's all there is, when there was a whole life. Right? There was a whole lot of joy. Yeah, there was some sadness, but there was a whole life. And we look at that moment and that's all we see. So that was my whole thing in jumping in, trying to adjust how we look at the transition time of it and the aftermath of it, and how we deal with families in the end, because it seems like they just dropped off at their house and it's like, see ya, thanks for the check.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Who's looking out for them afterwards, right? And so that's another set of pain that they're dealing with. And then the people who are dealing with the people who are dealing with the pain, who's helping them through it when they see it every day? Right. But who knows what's going to happen with this thing? I'm at the point, I'm just letting spirit and the ancestors handle me. Because I'm a big thing, I'm a big thing. Y'all all know we big things, right?
Yes.
Tell me,
Definitely. Definitely.
I know.
All right now. All right. So I'm just rolling with it. But I am going to finish shortly, because I, like you, Carlina, am tired of school. 56 years old. This ain't easy.
I hear you. I totally hear you. I went to school early so that I wouldn't be at this age studying and trying to raise kids, and that was the whole reason why I did it 30 years ago. I'm like, this was not the plan. So yeah, I totally understand.
That's all right. We almost finished, baby. We almost finished.
Thank you.
What's cracking with you, Jermaine?
Jermaine?
Okay, first of all, I had a good SFE experience. I don't know what y'all. I had a wonderful SFE experience to the point where I am still friends with my SFE teacher.
No, friends, yes, we made friends, but did
no, the teacher.
Oh, the teacher. Okay, wow.
I still have a couple of the friends.
With my teacher, but no, the class sucked. It did. I'm sorry.
20 years ago.
But yeah, I mean, it was quite a bit. I mean, with SFE, it was quite a bit. I went for SFE and the SAS and everything else, and the experience itself was just kind of, it was dreary, but I made it.
Before you go into your beautiful story, because I'm excited to hear how this is what I went through. We were in Teatercell, in Teatercell Centrum. Maybe 15, 20 grown-ass men and women from all over the world, and we were literally in the Centrum singing Swedish crazy songs. Kan du få snäll och tala långsamt för jag fattar inte allt. Could do for snell och tala lång, som kan du ta det en gång till. Det är så svårt med språket, jag fattar inte allt. Like, I'm literally singing about how hard the language is and how silly it is, but like in a third grade capacity. And we had grown-ass men and women from all over the world in the Centrum singing that song over and over. And that was my SFB experience. I'm like, yo, I'm supposed to be going to school. I'm supposed to be learning this. Why are we standing here singing these dumbass songs? I'm like, you know what? I'm out of here. I got a job working at a bar. So
I did not learn any songs in my class.
You were lucky.
We had lessons. We had lesson books. We had it every day. We had a test
God,
every Friday. Oh wow! I'm sorry. I've heard like horror stories like that, and I always think to myself, I lucked out.
Yeah,
I must have lucked out and gotten that right pocket in the right place at the right time. But yeah, that was cool. But no, it's been. I can honestly say yes. Mentally, it's been a struggle for not working and not having, not being able to perform. That alone was a struggle. So of course you think, okay, I got the other things and I'm going to fix those. But sometimes your mind is like, but if you can't do that, how are you going to do this? But now, especially since I thought about having this and starting things up again with reaching out to people and getting in contact with everyone that I know, and realizing that everyone is all over the bloody world. I mean, all over the place, in different countries, different states, and because it's different when you're always in your own bubble, talking to the same people, sometimes about the same thing, And this is a totally different atmosphere to just grab a bunch of people from all over and getting stories, funny or sad or strange, and just sitting here talking about whether it be current events or, SFE or anything, this is kind of thing that actually kind of cheers me up. I'm hoping this year, after things have settled down, that I will be able to start working again. My aim is to hopefully be working for myself.
Yes.
But we'll see how things go with the vaccine and everything else as it lays out, and hopefully start performing again as well, because that's a huge thing that I realized right after our last performance was March 9th, 2020. And then we had maybe like 2 more later on in the year before they shut it down totally and restricted people. And your gut is like, you really miss that. You really miss that music you guys make and our camaraderie together. We we still stuck together as a group, and we still communicate. We rehearse every now and then, but I'm just looking forward. I'm just looking forward to things easing up and falling into this.
I have friends who are musicians that are actually RVers, and they travel and do their music. Status Crows, love them. They play just songs that everyone wants to hear, covers. But they're in Phoenix now doing it on patios outside. So they're opened up to have some type of entertainment. It's too far for us to travel right now, but they are at least earning a living because they're able to play on the patio. Now, granted, Phoenix is warm, so I don't know what the temperature is there right now, but like they have a show this weekend. So can you play on patios or something like that?
It's the restriction now we have is 8 people. I think we're down to 8 people.
Oh, wow.
Right.
And and think about it as if if anyone performs and you draw a crowd, it's going to be more than 8 people.
Yeah.
And then you'll be doing something against the law, and then they'll come and arrest you, break you up, maybe give you a fine, and then that's it. So nope.
And Jermaine's thing in particular is that like the allure of a lot of her gigs is that like, you know, she's got her core of musicians that she works with, but after, you know, we get the pleasure of seeing them do their thing, she has an open jam as well. So, you know, it makes it a lot more interactive, and it encourages more people to be there, you know, because various musicians all want to come and jam with her people, and then we all bring 3 or 4 friends and so forth and so on. So, you know, it's not necessarily conducive to what she rocks right now.
Okay.
You know, I mean, in order, because her magic works in the sense that everybody jams together. You know, I've met so many dope ass people because of Jermaine. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's Jermaine.
And the fact that we have the same last name and half of the
Jermaine.
people think we're brother and sister.
I know.
Doesn't hurt me either, you know? So that's cool too. I'm like, no,
Is
that's
that your brother up there with no shirt on? It's like that.
You know it.
Things. But no, I
You
mean,
brought so much joy here, Jermaine. You really have.
Thanks.
And your reputation here is absolutely wonderful. Like, you know, you've been killing shit for a long time. For real. I'm really happy to have met you. No, for real. For real. I'm really happy to have met you.
And
Noreen, we knew her back when.
She's a pro.
Okay.
Yeah, she was. I
She's a
remember
pro.
her singing on her front porch.
Yes.
Noreen, were you and Jermaine at that Black Coffee gig together?
At what?
The Black Coffee gig. There was a Black Coffee gig in New York that both of you guys were at that was televised.
Oh no.
Or filmed, yeah. Or maybe it wasn't you, Noreen. I'm not sure. But you were there in particular, Jermaine, because I've seen you. I'll send you a clip to that link.
Yes,
he's one of my yeah.
Yeah, send
he's
it,
like,
yeah.
He's an amazing DJ, this South African dude who's been doing all this crazy like Afrobeat, Afro house stuff, and now he's working with Usher and all of these other people. And you were at a gig in New York that he played, Jermaine, because I was watching him and kind of studying how he does this thing, you know, and I was like, wait, that's Jermaine in the audience. I'll send you the clip.
I'll send you the clip because I want to know what gig I was at.
I'll send it to you for sure. For sure. Cool.
But yeah, but that's pretty much how my role is going. I'm hoping that, and I'm you know, my biggest thing is praying that all this stuff kind of eases down. We kind of gear down as we've been doing the past year, gear down and get ourselves moving again. Because that's all we can do right now is just keep on moving, just keep moving forward and do what you got to do to survive, to keep shining, you know, to keep your spirit lifted, especially keeping your spirit lifted, because it can get here, especially. I'm happy it's snowing because now at least it's light.
Yeah,
light
exactly.
Out because we had a couple of months where we had no sun. It was
literally.
There was no sun. It was just
29 days with zero sun.
All day, every day. So when it started, and then one day, I think it was right before Christmas, we had sun. I was like, oh, sun! You know, and then after that, it got, you know, kind of dim again, and then it started to snow, which was like, thank you. You know, so, but I think the best thing, for us to keep it rolling and keep it moving. I'm so glad you guys were here with me tonight.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have been
invited. Thank you.
Bless, baby. Thank
you. This
is
so cool. This has been another Zoom in Comfort. You guys hang out for a little while. Don't hang up anywhere. But I'm going to tell our guests who have been watching, it's been so cool hanging with these guys. Like I said, I haven't seen Tina in like Baduba years. Scooby-Doo years. Hey, Carlina, love to you, Carlina, and Darryl, and Noreen, and Tina. Am I doing it right? Yeah, I'm doing it right. And all y'all out there, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back here in 2 weeks with another Zoom in Comfort. Hopefully, I'll be seeing y'all also at the American Club Zoom live chat. And that's going to be on the 19th of February. But until then, subscribe to this channel. I'm hoping to see y'all soon. Like the page. Get those numbers up for us so we'll be up here again. Ladies, gentlemen, y'all were the best today.
Thank you.
Please send me those links. Y'all come back, check out those links I'm going to post for all this music I'm going to be seeing, all this hair stuff I'm going to be looking at, and this counseling to keep myself calm that I hopefully will be seeing soon. But everybody, please have a beautiful evening or a beautiful afternoon. I think that's Tina having a beautiful afternoon, and also Noreen. We will have a beautiful evening. Y'all have just a great
It's still
weekend.
morning here.
Oh, dear.
Oh, wow. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
You're still going to enjoy, but stick around. Don't hang up nowhere. But everyone
Okay.
else, please have a wonderful day and take care, and see you in 2 weeks. Ciao.
Love you all.
And we're out.